Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Russ Sacco. I am attorney Darby, and I represent Chris Myers and Newtown Bagels. It's owned by Chris and his wife, Linda, who's sitting in the back. She doesn't want to come up with us for some reason. So, you have the application in front of you. It's a conditional use application. This is for the Newtown Plaza Shopping Center. Newtown Bagel is going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary in February. And the store number 7 is next door, which was formerly the C&M Bank. That bank has been vacant for about 6 or 7 months now, and my client would like to expand Newtown Bagel into store number 7. So they're combining store number 6 and store number 7. It's still going to be Newtown Bagel, they're proposing the same hours of operation, but he'd like to get some additional seating, and I have Chris here because he wants to kind of go over what he's proposing to do. I don't want to get too specific. From a legal standpoint, even though it's an existing use, I believe, speaking with the zoning officer, because Newtown Bagel 25 years ago didn't have to go through the conditional use process, and we are expanding, the zoning determination was to require the zoning process, which is go through the conditional use application to combine store number 6 and store number 7.
Excuse me, did you get that in writing from her?
Yes. Well, I made the request, because you have an administrative conditional use process where you don't have to go through the formality of going before the planning commission and the board of supervisors. But because this is considered an eating place, that's not part of it. The administrative process is, they did say we have to go through the full process, which is why we're here this evening. And so that is the gist of the application. And my client's here to just kind of give you an idea of what he's proposing to do.
And, hey guys, so Chris Meyer, I'm the owner operator of Newtown Bagels. We've been, I'll say, landlocked in 1,200 square feet for almost 25 years. Hopefully you guys have all been in there. You know how limited our seating is. Our coffee selection, when CNN moved, it's an opportunity to expand into that space to have some seating for my customers. Expand some other coffee selections for our customers as well. So that's essentially what we're going through the process, hopefully having 14 seats in that additional 1,800 square feet, so we can have customers actually sit down and eat their food. So that's anything exciting, yes.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the issues identified is the parking. It's shopping plaza, and there's formerly a pizza place there, Megalo's Pizza. With the combined plan, it's going from 10 seats to 24. Yet when we provided you with the parking calculations, we went with 24 new seats at 1 seat for every 2, 12 seats, and then 1 seat for every employee. So he feels, I think it's established that with the bank and the bagel shop there, or Newtown Bagel there, I think it's probably more intensive parking use than just Newtown Bagel with 24 seats instead of 10 seats.
Nobody ever went to that bank.
I'm sorry?
Nobody ever went to that bank, that's why it changed everything.
Right. Yeah, I think it requires 1 parking space for every 200 square feet, so 1,800 did require at least 9 parking spaces.
So the whole center has 78 parking spaces, the whole lot.
Yes.
Parking in the back.
Yeah, there's a lot of parking in the back.
There's parking back there.
Yeah.
Most people pull right in the front, the rest are right there, and then the main top.
And I think the hours of use kind of work well with the center.
Yeah, what are your operating hours? 7 to 2?
Yeah.
I mean, Michelle, they're okay with, I mean, there is adequate parking there for, I mean, we got 78 parking spots. So is only 11 required?
No, they're saying, that's what they are saying. And in my review letter number 7, I asked the zoning officer, it's one of my questions, the zoning officer, to ensure that there are enough spaces in the shopping center for all the existing uses and this proposed change in use, because as we know, a restaurant or eating place requires more parking than other uses. So there are several questions for the zoning officer in my review. And Peggy, you just talked about the hours of operation. They don't say the days of the week that you're gonna be open.
Yes, and what I can do actually is we've just got together last week, so I did put together a response to address, it looks like there's 3 issues, I can run down those really quickly, actually, for the planning commission.
Sure, go ahead.
Clarification. But the first clarification is the parking. Your review letter indicates that there are going to be 14 parking spaces required. And then you're combining store number 6 and store number 7.
Correct.
So it's 14 parking spaces for combined store number 6
Correct.
and store number 7.
Correct.
So my point earlier was that between the bank and store number 6, bagel place, I'm not sure how many parking spaces were required. So I don't think we're adding any more parking spaces.
And that's the whole question, that's what we need the zoning officer to determine.
Sure, and I haven't made that determination.
You know, I emailed, both zoning officers and Mike a couple weeks ago, and I haven't heard back.
Okay.
I emailed, knowing that the meeting was today, I emailed them, again, and I haven't heard from them.
Okay. And you would ask for clarification on the size of both stores. Store number 6, which is Newtown Bagel, is 1,200 square feet. The vacant, store number 7 is 1,800 square feet.
Oh. No,
$1,800.
store number 6 is how big?
1,200 square feet.
1,200, and I think your application says that store number 7 is 1,500.
Right, we're correcting that.
Oh, you're correcting that to be 1,800.
1,800.
Understood.
Which again is not review letter, we just drafted. But I can,
Okay.
let's see if I can.
Another thing we discussed was the E6 use, Michelle, not being permitted in the CC zoning
Yeah,
district.
Could we did you wanna let him go through his board?
Okay, yeah.
You had requested, we had indicated the bagel, the Newtown Bagel operates from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think we want to know what days per week. They're open 7 days per
So
week.
7 days.
Are you sure that 2 p.m. is a good time for you, if you don't wanna enlarge that at all? The supervisor's gonna ask you that question too, that's what you, get more hours of operation.
If the business is there, I'd love to.
But you can ask for it and not use it.
So
Yeah.
the reality is after 11 o'clock, we tend to be a lot slower. So, we've considered it, we just don't get the lunch crowd. Ideally, we'd like to get the lunch crowd, but I think that would still be satisfactory too.
But in the future, 6 months down the road, you might decide you wanna pursue having a lunch crowd. Now would be the time for ask for extended hours instead of having to come back.
And you don't have to be open, but.
You don't have to be open, but you're permitted to be.
We have it available.
So that's what their suggestion is, have it in your back pocket and extend the hours and ask for it. If you decide a year from now you want to go to 6 p.m., at least
If
you
you
have.
don't do it now, you're gonna have to come back and get a conditional use for that for an additional
Yeah.
hour. That's okay, just let you know.
Gotcha.
I think if you would amend it maybe 7 to 5, that would leave you, who knows what's gonna happen in the future, but it's there. If you want to stay up until 5, you can. If you don't,
Gotcha.
Take that decision, thank you.
And if you think about it, if you wanna change it, the supervisor will ask you that question again, you can make those changes at the supervisor meeting as well.
Okay.
Thank you. And then item number 6 in your review letter was a question about deliveries, and I'll summarize that and then recommend along. Currently, the number of deliveries to the site shouldn't change. So currently, there are approximately 4 small box trucks deliveries each week, with each delivery arriving before 10 a.m. There's typically 1 delivery on Monday, 2 deliveries on Tuesday, and 1 delivery on Thursday. Chris, I'm wrong.
That's not an option.
Okay.
Are they in the back to begin with? Is there a backside to your?
They pull them back, and then it's my clockwork.
Madam Chair, I have a question. The letter here says that you'll have an average of 1 employee and a maximum of 2 employees for the proposed shift, and you're still gonna keep 1 employee, and you're doubling your space?
No, so we currently staff 3 to 5, depending on the day. The new space, I'll have 1 additional employee.
Okay, because that's not what it says in the letter here.
Okay.
Right, what we try to address is because it's an existing business and an existing space, space number 7 is gonna add 14 seats, and he's only gonna need one more employee. So you're trying to show that it's not
Yeah,
a
but
rental use.
having a different staff number changes the parking calculation.
Well, for space number 7, I understand that. We're trying to make this as clear as possible. I appreciate your point. We try to present this in such a way as this is the existing Newtown Bagels store number 6. By utilizing store number 7, this is the intensity that's gonna add to the center. 14 more seats, one more employee.
If I may, that's all fine.
Okay.
Just tell us what the existing number of employees are.
Okay.
3 to 5 depending.
3 to 5.
So during the week, it's typically 3, and on the weekends, it's 5.
And I'll update my letter to reflect.
And so, with the addition of store number 7, you will have between 4 and 7 employees.
4 and 6.
4 and 6, okay?
I know.
It says with the
So,
maximum, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's say
I'm having
4.
one barista, basically, for
Okay.
the coffee.
It says with a maximum of 2
Yeah.
employees for the
A lot of
proposed
it's not
function.
busy enough to have 2 baristas.
Okay.
That's why there's that.
Let's say 4 to 7, unless there's a problem with it,
Right.
and let's see what it does with your parking calculation.
Okay.
I believe that addresses your review letter with respect to the parking. That was the last item. The other items are more for the zoning officer to shine on.
Which I think, Madam Chair, is what you began to talk about, and that is the use.
Right.
The shopping center use, is not allowed in this district, but it is there. It exists today, so we asked the zoning officer to, give us a written determination that she is okay with this use, and we haven't heard it back from her. It is, to my knowledge, this use, shopping center use, was the same as it is now, back when the shopping center was approved. So I also asked the township for the original approval letter for the shopping center. I haven't received that yet either. So I don't know how that was approved, which might answer some questions.
Absolutely, I mean, the E6 use, everybody, anywhere in Newtown, you can get takeout. You can get takeout at Canterbury.
Right,
Yeah,
which is,
Anywhere, yeah.
And then the existing store, as is the Chinese restaurant.
Chinese restaurant,
Right.
that's takeout, yeah.
and I'm guessing that an E6 use is not proposed because it's not allowed in this district also, which might have been, an opinion of the zoning officer or suggestion for you to apply for only the E5. But we always see restaurants that have takeout, E5, E6. So I also asked the zoning officer for that determination, and I haven't heard back yet. So I think we'll need that, I'm sorry, before you go to the Board of Supervisors meeting.
So I think most restaurants now, and I don't know if this matters, but they do DoorDash and other types of things.
Mhm.
Do you do that? Do you do
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know of a place that doesn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say every restaurant would be kind of doing the same thing.
I mean, the E6 is kind of like a sore thumb, I mean,
I'd love to have a drive-through for the record. I can't fit one there.
you can't fit one.
No, but I'd love one.
I think that's one of the distinctions between E5 and E6 too, is the drive-through.
Yeah, that was worded.
And, you know, I think it's more prepared food, people come in and pick up, you know, obviously the restaurant business changes so much.
And then there's one more possible issue, and that is the, number, or your sewage capacity for the restaurant. I don't know if you spoke with the Newtown Joint Municipal Authority.
They've already met with my, several times on the Department of Health.
Great.
I have approvals from I did.
Okay, you won't need an approval from the Department of Health, that unless you need to get a planning module, and then you need that component signed. Do you have anything in writing from Mike Mendito, I imagine it is?
Not writing.
Okay, you should.
Mr. Curran, the letter, I'm on the board there, and I spoke with Mike about it. There's no new use required, so there's no new application required there. And the letter is forthcoming as far as, a will serve letter.
All right, we need a will serve, and that you won't need an additional ED.
Correct.
Okay, all right, so you should have that in writing before the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Okay.
We also need a will serve from the water company. I'm not going to do it now, but it's formality, but it will give you one.
Okay.
Shall we finish that?
Yes.
I'm gonna do the solicitor thing, I'm gonna go through the other additional things that are necessary for conditional use approval. We've already talked about the use, so we talked about B5 and B6, that will be taken down. We discussed the seating, we just discussed the water and the sewer. Hours of operation are at this point 7 to 2, but that may change on the snow. Employees we've discussed. As to materials, no hazardous or flammable or explosive materials can be stored or used in the building. If that changes, let us know. Also, the landlord know, that's even more importantly, and how you intend to maintain a safety plan for that if there's anything dangerous there. Potential environmental impacts, as to noxious, toxic, or corrosive fumes, smoke, odor, or dust. The representation is there will be none of that. If that should change, you have to let us know how you're going to handle that. Outdoor sound, we don't allow any outdoor sound, that we probably already know that. No speaker system, nothing that would make a noise outside of the four walls of your buildings. Okay. Deliveries we already discussed. Trash pickup also has to be in coordination with your neighbors at the same shopping center. Make sure it does not interfere with traffic on Swamp Road as well. It has to be ADA compliant. I'm sure you already are, but make sure we didn't do it. The number 7 building is ADA compliant. We've already discussed the parking calculations. I think we're waiting for some information from the zoning officer. We need a copy of your lease. I think maybe we've seen it, but that would be good, so we need to see that. All fees and costs associated with this application have to be paid to the township before we will issue a certificate of occupancy. And finally, some general conditions that you basically must comply with the general tone and gestalt of the neighborhood, and not create any disturbances, not create any traffic hazards, anything like that. It has to be compliant with the municipal comprehensive plan of Newtown, Upper Wakefield, and Wrightstown Townships. That's basically all. I'll give you a copy of this, and I'll give a copy to Mary for a synopsis.
One possible change is that the township said in the transmittal that they do have the lease agreement. The township says that they do have the lease agreement on the transmittal letter.
Good. I put it in here, but they have.
Mr. Chairman, I forgot to indicate when I was responding to my letter, my last paragraph, the rest of the items will comply with respect. I just wanted to address that.
Do you have any problems with anything I just read or said to you?
Not at all.
Okay, very good.
Do you need a motion on that?
Yes, we do.
Any other questions?
Well, I'm still wondering why the application indicates 1 employee with a maximum of 2, and you're talking about 4 or 5. I don't understand why that discrepancy was there.
And that's probably a miscommunication on my part with the application. When I was submitting the application, since this Newtown Bagels currently there in store number 6, and he has his number of employees, what he's proposing for store number 7 is a coffee area, barista, and seats. So we were addressing what the additional vacant space being developed was going to add to the shopping center, instead of saying that we're adding all these new seats and all these new employees when they're existing. So I understand that we should clarify what is current versus what's going to be there, so that the Board of Supervisors have a better idea of what the combined store is going to cost totally to the center. And I apologize if that's my fault.
Would the signage be any different?
I'm sorry?
Would the signage be any different?
It's not the intent to change the signage.
Be the same? So there won't be any on the second floor?
Well, right now, there's, I guess, a white light box. I haven't really considered changing that. I'm certainly, if we didn't put anything up, it wouldn't change from the white light box that's there.
We know if you do intend on adding another sign, you're gonna have to come back to see us again.
Not sure.
Well, I think we should currently assign there that's not.
Yes.
Right.
Would you plan to use the same door that typically you use right now? That they
So I would use both doors.
Both of them?
Yeah. I would probably have the one that's currently being used mostly for like the door dashers and stuff like that. And funnel people through the other 2 doors. So, but I'm not gonna tell people they can't come in the door. Pretty sure most of the people here would listen to this. You gotta go around the corner.
Any other questions from anybody? I'd like to make the recommendation that we support this, we recommend that they support this application. We've been in Newtown 25 years, and we really like to support our businesses. You've been here a long time, you're an asset to the community.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.